Us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including AJ Styles returns to TNA confirmed, the Hardy Boys ready to retire, cancel Seth Rollins plans have now been revealed, WWE's next big megastars, a wrestler involved in a real altercation, why AJ Lee will never return to WWE, Omos sent to another promotion, and much more. Now first we looks at AJ Styles confirmed for a TNA return. Now get ready for a phenomenal appearance at this Sunday's TNA event. There have been rumors about AJ Styles returning to TNA, and TNA all but confirmed it on last night's Impact, where a video aired showing what appeared to be Styles' all-ring jacket. Earlier this week, TNA President Carlos Silva hyped Slammiversary, saying, "We're moving the stage back to accommodate more fans. This event will be TNA's greatest achievement, and trust me, it's going to be phenomenal." Fightful Selection Ross Sapp then tweeted today that, yes, the phenomenal news is true. The phenomenal AJ Styles will be at Slammiversary for TNA Wrestling on Sunday, July 20th at UBS Arena in Elmont, New York. TNA Wrestling President Carlos Silva confirmed this morning to Fightful Select AJ Styles will be a part of Slammiversary on Sunday, which many wrestling insiders are predicting will be the biggest TNA show, especially after Silva shared on social media when moving the stage back to accommodate more fans. But then TNA Wrestling announced breaking, the phenomenal AJ Styles returns to TNA this Sunday at TNA Slammiversary live on pay-per-view and TNA Plus from UBS Arena on Long Island, New York, with AJ Styles firmly on the poster. And naturally, fans of the Phenomenal One are anxious to see what role AJ will play at the event. There have been rumors of Styles entering TNA's Hall of Fame. As Sapp noted, Silva did not comment on what Styles will be doing at Slammiversary, the showcase event of the year that features two high-profile championship matches involving TNA and NXT stars, and many other much-anticipated matches. The TNA World Champion Trick Williams previously stated that he'd love to wrestle AJ Styles, and we can't think of a better scenario than AJ winning the title once again before he hangs up his boots for good. Do you think that'll ever happen, or will AJ Styles give the rub to TNA World Champion Trick Williams? Next up, TNA's biggest show in 10 years. A congratulations to TNA Wrestling, which is letting the wrestling world know just how successful Slammiversary is with the following tweet. Major Slammiversary update. TNA Wrestling confirmed that all floor seats are officially sold out for this Sunday's showcase event at the UBS Arena in New York. Plus, Slammiversary will be the biggest attendance of any TNA show in more than 10 years. And it is projected to be the largest crowd at any TNA Wrestling live event in the US in company history. Now it's actually crazy to see how far TNA have come from those dying days in the early 2010s. One of their biggest pay-per-views of the year, Bound for Glory, only had like a handful of fans, and most of the seats in the arena were totally empty. They've literally done an Undertaker and pulled their hand right up from out the grave. Next up, the Hardy Boys ready to retire. Now are the Hardy Boys retiring? Jeff and Matt Hardy hinted at this during last night's Impact as brother Matt prepared to battle First Class, the Rascals, and TNA World Tag Team Champions Nick and Ryan Nemeth in a ladder match for the titles. Ringside News' Felix Upton noted that the Hardys' intense promo during the Go Home show for Slammiversary mentioned, "If we don't win the World Tag Team titles at Slammiversary, maybe it's time for the Hardy Party to end." Jeff said, looking straight into the camera. Matt followed up with a brutally honest reflection on where they stand today, saying they don't want to be the shells of themselves and acknowledge that the business will move on without the Hardys. Do you think the Hardys should hang up their boots, or should they have one final run, that being in their home, the WWE? Next up, the SummerSlam card still being planned. A SummerSlam will be 2 nights for the first time in WWE history, but fans still don't know what matches will be held on which night. Now, according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, they're providing a look at what WWE has been thinking over. The SummerSlam card originally was scheduled John Cena vs Cody Rhodes as a second night main event, and at the time there was talk of possibly adding a stipulation that's not been determined yet. Now, given how big John Cena's farewell tour is being pushed, it seems obvious that Cody vs Cena will take place at night 2, but what kind of stipulation will they have added to the match? Will it be that Cody can't challenge John Cena for the WWE Championship again if he loses? To be fair, that's not going to be long since Cena's going to be gone by December though. What do you guys think? Next up, cancel Seth Rollins plans have been revealed. Our wrestling fans are still wondering what Seth Rollins' injury status is, and while we don't know the details, a new report from The Observer suggests what WWE's original plans for Rollins' Money in the Bank cash-in were, specifically for Mr. Money in the Bank to do an injury angle at last week's Saturday night's main event show. We do know now from multiple people that the plan was to do an injury angle on this show and have Rollins leave, and then he would shockingly return at SummerSlam in the Gunther vs CM Punk match and cash the briefcase in and win the title, with the idea that he and Paul Heyman outsmarted everyone. Quite frankly, I thought that was a brilliant idea. Now, some have speculated the entire injury is work, while others claim that Seth had a pre-existing injury that he needs time off for, and that the Saturday night's main event angle was designed to give him time off. Now, while they aren't sure which story is accurate, he did discuss the possible blowback if the injury turns out to be a work. Whether it was in the ring, in another match, or outside the ring is something that will likely be kept quiet for a long time. The injury cover story makes the most sense, but given the card listed 3 weeks ago, anything that happened was known about at that time. Plus, while everyone in wrestling will understand that the people in charge may pull this if that's the case, it will lead to a lot of unneeded mistrust and a WCW paranoid backstage atmosphere. It's really not worth it. It's possible WWE doesn't care what the fans and or wrestlers think, and given its current success, the promotion may feel it's bulletproof right now. Next up, WWE's next megastars. Now, who are the future faces of WWE? While WWE is brimming with talent, this week's Observer has an eye-opening story on who WWE sees as its future megastars. Besides the current headliners like Rhodes, Rollins, Reigns, and Punk, given Cena leaves at the end of the year, the idea right now is to groom Ripley, Fatu, and Breakker to be the people with them and eventually in those spots. I believe that Ripley is the obvious long-term face of the women's division going forward. Fatu to me has felt like early 80s Jimmy Snuka as a heel, the crowd got behind, and with the crazy unpredictability of being badass, unstoppable one-on-one. Breakker has the obvious athletic gifts. I sense they are easing him into the longer promo responsibility, which is why Heyman is with him now. Now, I'm not sure if Meltzer already got the memo, but Ripley is already a megastar in the WWE. We would argue that she's already firmly entrenched at the top of WWE's women's division and an all-around megastar. The WWE has so many talents that fans are ready to embrace that it's only a question of the promotion taking the time to book talents that could become main eventers or generational talents. The problem is that WWE struggles to find time for its bloated roster, means less than a handful of talents get the time needed to connect with the WWE universe. Next up, even bigger things headed for Jacob Fatu. Now, while it seems obvious that WWE has big plans for Jacob Fatu, a new story from WrestleVotes Radio is just a latest example of how much WWE sees in the Samoan Werewolf. We're told Jacob Fatu's rise as a top-tier babyface is officially underway, with the company ready to elevate his profile, not just on screen, but through heavy promotion and public appearances. In fact, expect to see exclusive city-themed merchandise for the Samoan Werewolf designed in collaboration with local sports teams beginning to roll out in both arenas and stadiums soon. That kind of marketing effort has historically been reserved for elite talent, which speaks volumes about how highly the company views Jacob Fatu potentially. You're talking to guys like John Cena and Steve Austin, and now they're going to throw Jacob Fatu in this scenario. But speaking of Jacob Fatu, his cousin Zilla Fatu could end up in Slammiversary. Wrestling News recently discussed former WWE superstar Enzo Amore, who now works as Real One, announcing his plans to appear at Sunday's show and that he's bringing friends along with him. They added, Real One specifically mentioned he would be bringing heavyweight champion Zilla Fatu. Fatu, the son of the late WWE legend Umaga and a member of the famed Anoa'i wrestling family, is the inaugural 4th Rope Wrestling heavyweight champion. Next up, a wrestler involved in a real altercation. A current AEW talent, Marina Shafir, is opening up about an uncomfortable incident she had with a co-worker at the gym. Shafir appeared recently on Soraya's podcast, discussing how a co-worker began mocking her while she was on the treadmill, leading to things escalating when she moved to a different part of the gym.
And I'm just like leaning against the wall, and all of a sudden, I get fucking shoved from behind. And I'm taking a sip of my water bottle, and it wasn't like a soft shove, man. Like, I felt like I just got like tackled. The water bottle hits the wall, like cuts me in the gums, like my gum is bleeding, water's just everywhere.
Now, apparently the co-worker thought he was ready to throw down with Shafir as he was a trained MMA fighter. Instead,
I'm like, all right, motherfucker. I got up, I like stood southpaw just to fuck with him. Oof. I faked a fucking left, took a big step and just fucking hooked the fuck out of it. He goes to shoot for a double. I stuffed that motherfucker. He tried to pop up for a fucking double and I fucking stuffed it again.
Now, Shafir was concerned whether the incident might affect her career, but she told the alleged instigator,
I will fucking take your money. Don't ever fucking touch me ever again.
Well, thankfully she's safe after such an incident. Next up, why AJ Lee will never return to WWE. Now, will CM Punk ever work with real-life wife and former WWE superstar and Divas champion AJ Lee? Well, not according to some recent comments from wrestling's Second City Saint, as during an interview with TV Insider, he revealed, there are really two things my wife and I don't do together. One is to work out, and the other is to work together. It's really the perfect relationship. Pro wrestling has a way of changing rules carved in stone, which means never say never. But Punk, who is scheduled to challenge Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam, also told TV Insider about which WWE superstar he's looking to for acting advice. He's been a friend for so long, Dave Bautista. I can reach out to Dave and ask him a million different questions. And finally, Omos sent to another promotion. And last but not least, wrestling's most invisible big man could be returning to action, as a new report from WrestleVote suggests WWE has found another role for Omos in a different promotion. WWE Creative has discussed sending Omos to AAA for a run similar to his brief Noah stint this past winter. Per source, the idea is to further establish him as a true special attraction outside the WWE bubble. Omos' short but successful run in Noah, including him winning the GHC Tag Team Championship with Jack Morris, led to fans buzzing about whether WWE might bring him back for a sustained appearance rather than his usual role as a participant in Battle Royals.